What are we looking forward in this year and the next year? I believe recently, going back to the Capitol building riot, I think that one of the main problems with America is declining standard of living since 1970s, and it continued to, increase or exacerbate by Covid-19 and things like that. Of course, you can blame on the ideologies and all of that, and the severity of the protests become more like a mob taking over, but the facts that during the pandemic, for example, or even before that, because of the political system and economically system that we have right now, it actually helping the rich to become even richer, and the middle class and the poor actually sliding down. Whether you talk about NAFTA back in Clinton, where we had NAFTA that actually essentially shipped the jobs overseas to Mexico, and of course later than that, later on go to China and India and things like that. And because corporation basically they don't tie into specific nations, wherever they can get or lower their operating costs or raw material and labor, they will do so. As a result, we don't have other mechanism or other systems that will counter this, whether it will be worker cooperatives, for example, where workers can form their own cooperatives or corporations and things like that. So I think the main thing we need to reconcile and unify middle class and lower class together, essentially against the exploitation of the elite or the top 1%. It's going to be very difficult because the 1% actually control pretty much everything: media, high tech, Facebook, Google, Twitter, you name it. And right now, it is more dangerous if you think about it. Of course, you can blame on the routes, but to censor, for example, Trump's, suspend for a few weeks or so, Trump's Twitter account, or even before that, the media actually, the high tech actually censor WikiLeaks, for example. Do we want, among other, experts, do we want corporations where we don't know what they're doing, like Facebook, Twitter, to censor our freedom of speech? That's the main thing. Of course, you can talking about what if you let Donald Trump do whatever he's doing, it get worse. But I believe until we reconcile the people on the right and to the left, in the middle, to actually to rebuild America again the way we want it, where the system will work for 99% of the people, not the two-party system. Definitely, we need a third party or fourth parties. We need to do that. Otherwise, we'll be ending up with the same monopoly two-party systems where things getting bad for the middle class and getting much better for the elite or the top 1%, as we said. So now a lot of people will name the riots as terrorist. I still comprehensive about that, because behind all of this anger, who would go protest, climb up the wall if they have good jobs, good benefits, good jobs? Those people are losing. A lot of them, I'm sure they're just like worker class, for example, and and their standard of living is sliding. Not even worse for black and brown. So that's a problem, and it's happening. You look at Brazil and many countries. The rich is getting too much power, too much monopoly power to control all the sectors of the society or businesses. So we need to enforce more antitrust law, and definitely the tax rules have to be modified for the rich to pay more. I mean, I listen to some of these, rich expert, I don't want to name them, but they brag about they're paying zero tax, and they kind of ridicule the middle class, you pay the highest tax. The guy that promoting, his rich dads, for example. I mean, I look at it, who gonna pay for public services where the middle class paying less tax because there's no jobs, because the capitalist system actually destroy a lot of, or liberal, destroy a lot of cities, like Detroit, for example. So who gonna pay for the road that you drive? I'm sure these guys drive on the freeways, all of that, they use public utilities, just like us. And they brag about, hey, I'll teach you how to be rich. So you have to pay zero tax. If you think about it, really, I mean, I would love, our system, nobody have to pay a tax, but maybe just sell tax. But in reality, especially now, we need more money to fund COVID treatments, with the vaccines, or to fight COVID, build infrastructure and technology, maybe apps to control it and to track. We need a lot of money. Surely we can reduce spend defendings, but the two-party system, they're warmongers. Same with Biden. Biden's, so it's pretty much on the right in terms of, defense spending and expanding wars where we see no end. It just, like Iraq, Afghanistan, look like we're pulling back, but we waste trillions for what? Yeah, for democracy. Yeah, I doubt it. Anyway, in terms of COVID, especially I live in LA, I think we're at the point where to me, it's out of control. One solution, of course, is to vaccines, people the fastest as we can right now, and to distribute it, because it's just out of control, I believe, because we failed at the early stage to control it. Now we're paying the price for the first surge, the second surge, maybe the third surge. I think this whole year we're gonna be dealing with more deaths, unfortunately, and I don't know about other country, but it looked like some people don't want to wear masks because of political belief, and they think the whole thing is hoax. Let me tell you, I have people or families working in the hospital. It's getting worse. They put bodies in OR room because they're running out of room. This is real. People are dying more and more every day. 1 out of 3 people in LA are infected with COVID. So this is real, and to when you go out, just to merely wearing masks to protect yourself and others, it's your responsibility, and I've been doing that because hospitals are overwhelmed, not only for COVID patients, but it put jeopardy on other patients, emergency, cancer, accidents, all of that. You think about it. So we have to have more critical thinking of what we're doing, not like, oh, I don't want to do it. I want to exercise my freedom. Don't tell me what to do ever, But it is pandemic. It's different times. And if you look at other countries, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, China, they wear masks. Actually, they've been wearing masks even before COVID, So that's to take precautions for themselves and their society and other people. So anyway, definitely, you folks can stay home, and if you get infected, quarantine and make sure you're not spreading. I heard one family, the whole family infected because the brother brought, the virus home. So now the whole family, infected. They don't want to tell anybody, of course, but it's real. And it is unprecedented. We've never seen this before, but to have some people, some folks that think that, wearing masks is against their freedom, I disagree. I think we all have to unify on this, not because of, you're a Democrat or you're Republican or you Green Party, whatever, So this is for all of us. So we need to unify. Until people are unified, we're gonna see more violence. Hopefully, from what I'm hearing from Biden, they're gonna step up the security, which means they're gonna basically isolate it or blame the right, the people that a lot of them they're just angry because, like I say, because of economical reason, and we need to reconcile and create the bonds. Of course, some of them will be very extremist. Then we have to deal with them separately. But anyway, the whole thing is that we need to unify, and we need to think critically, and then deal with the virus, and instead of using violence, we need to unify together to fight the monopoly. We need third party and a fourth party to counter this monopoly, which is bad. We have no options. You go to the supermarket, you have a lot of options. Every year you have new options, but our old political system, establishment, they control everything and then they would do everything not to allow Green Party to come in or a People's Party, whatever to come in. But we need to make sure that happens. Should be working on it right now and look for alternative. If Biden, fail again, I won't be surprised. He probably bring in the same administration like Obama, which is disasters anyway. They talk nice, but the action, speak for themselves. They're not for the working people. Look at the ridicule Bernie's, and Bernie again failed to make it to the top because establishment doesn't want Bernie to redistribute or reform the budget and taxation, to have the rich pay more, right? So that's the game. So we need to change the whole structure or the whole political party systems. So sorry, this might be all over the place, but I just want to make sure that I share my concern that we need to unify and do not alienate people on the right, although they might have gone a little bit far. But the main thing is that our standard of living is sliding down, is decreasing. There are true suffer in the society that we need to address, inequality that we need to address. Definitely, we have social issues with racism and all of that, and police killing, and that's separate. But we have to work together. Otherwise, we're gonna have civil war or something like that. Who knows? We don't want that, right? That would be the worst resort to have to go to. So anyway, that's pretty scary, and our society is pretty violent. So we need to make sure we reach across the aisle and instead of dividing, work together. I hope that happens. I truly sincere that we should work together and people on the left, on the right, in the middle. Okay, work together. See you folks on the next video. Thanks so much and stay safe and do your homework, your own research, and make the right decisions for America. Thanks so much. Bye for now.